I'm live, but I'm waiting for Miami Cuddles. I'm waiting for the little guys from the 69 group, whatever the hell their name is. I've got your proof, bro. I've got your proof. Okay. I'm putting this shit with George Zaharoff to fucking rest. You understand? I'm putting this shit with George Zaharoff to rest. Okay. I didn't put this out to begin with. I gave this out to somebody named uh, Raymond Ford. Okay. I sent this. Hey, what's up, Ken B? Yeah, you might not want to be in here if you're a George Zaharoff fan, brother. Just letting you know. But I gave this to a guy in a conversation. This guy put this screenshot out, and it came back to me. Okay. But I'm tired of this shit about being called a liar. I've got the screenshots proving George Zaharoff opened his mouth and said something he later regretted and then called me a liar. Okay. I'm done with this shit. I've been done with George for a while. But I'm also sick and tired of how people put George Zaharoff on a plateau next to God. If you think that George Zaharoff is infallible, then just go ahead and end yourself. Because the last time I checked, he bleeds just like me and you. George Zaharoff's not infallible. George Zaharoff has made mistakes. And the mistakes that George Zaharoff makes, George Zaharoff is going to have to come out and say, you know what, I fucked up. But George Zaharoff didn't do that. George Zaharoff come out and called me a liar, saying he didn't say that. If I can put it up here on this screen, just give me a moment and I will. I don't think I can, but I will try. Mainly because I'm on, I can't do it. I don't know where the hell else to do it. Anyway, so you guys will catch another video of something I'm going to post at the end of this. Yes, it does. George Zaharoff knows I do not care for his fragrances. The only one that I know of is Zaharoff Pour Homme. I did not care for it. I do have the bottle because I like the way the bottle looks. Okay, and it's George Zaharoff, a legend in the fragrance community, no doubt about it. But not a god, not infallible, and not always truthful. I'm just putting it out there. If you hate me for it, then so be it. Hate me for it. I don't want George Zaharoff's fragrances. I don't ask George Zaharoff for his fragrances. I won't ask George Zaharoff for his fragrances. But when this cutie Zen guy or whatever his name is on the channel I was just on probably 30 minutes ago says, if you show me the proof, George Zaharoff will send you 10,000. I don't want damn George Zaharoff's money. I want George Zaharoff to say, hey, DB's right. I was wrong. I made the comment. I apologized. I should have never said it. This would be squashed, period. But don't call me a damn liar. I do not lie. I do not like being called a liar because I have to constantly defend myself. In this community, I have so many haters. I constantly have to all the time defend myself. People coming at me talking about Miami Cuddles, talking shit. Absolutely he is. Miami Cuddles is not a good dude, guys. That is Zaharoff's. Yes, that is what it is, Ken. That's exactly what it is, man. And I'll be honest with you. I have a fragrance of my own, Southern Sunset. I'm going to tell you, I created it. I used my money to finance it. Nobody gave me a loan. Nobody gave me a heads up. Nobody told me where to buy the oils. I got it on my own. I paid for it on my own. I branded it on my own. I fill it on my own. There's no factories. When you get DB's, Southern Sunset, you get it made by my hand. It's personal. That's how I want my fragrances to be. But you're not going to come slam me and call me a liar, and I don't lie. Everything you've ever seen on my channels, there's proof of it all. There's proof of everything. If I make a claim, I back the shit up with proof because I screenshot every single thing that I feel is controversial. I screenshotted George Zaharoff's screenshot because it was George Zaharoff. If it was some little fly-by-night Joe, I'd have never screenshotted it. And it's my mistake for passing it on to somebody else. I don't remember the conversation I had with that gentleman. I don't. And hey, I'm getting older, man. Sometimes I don't even know who I'm sending fragrances to. I have to hit them up and say, hey, who am I sending this to? That's the truth. But I sent it to him. When people started saying, oh, George Zaharoff would never do that. And, we were just talking about it. There was a conversation where we said, even George Zaharoff said that Novatus is a clone house. Oh, you're full of shit. Don't talk bad about George. So I guess the dude put the proof out there because it all came back towards me. And that's fine. But when you come out and call me a bold-faced liar and then get on a phone conversation and say something different, which I did not record that phone conversation. I do have a conversation with me and Miami Cuddles. He's watching now. You can assure that Neil, Mr. Miami Cuddles, is watching this. You put money on that. He wants to make sure I don't put his conversation out there me and him had, where he admits the same shit. Miami has no allegiance to anybody. He has no allegiance to anybody but himself. And I told him a long time ago, don't run your mouth about me. I won't run my mouth about you. And he still damn runs his mouth. I will expose him from the day that I wake up to the day I pass away, because I told him twice. I forgave him once. I ain't doing it again. So you can expect a whole lot of shit about Miami Cuddles coming on the other channel, Exposed TV, because I really don't want this full. But I feel like this is where my biggest platform is with this personal conversation to begin with. George Zaharoff, I'm talking to you, brother. I don't hate you. There's no hate in me about George Zaharoff whatsoever. I have issues when I say something about George Zaharoff's fragrances and I get messages saying, you shouldn't be talking about George Zaharoff, all the lies you've said about George Zaharoff. But the proof's out there. You guys just refuse to look at it. Just like the election we're in. There's fraud. Nobody wants to see that. They just think everything's peachy keen. If you just look at the proof that I put out, I don't put any accusations out without any proof. There's one accusation that I've made that you will not get proof from me. I personally believe George Zaharoff buys subs for TLTG reviews. And I'll always feel that way because TLTG is way too fucking tight to buy his own. I promise you that. Okay. So I don't have proof of that. Just so you guys know, there's no proof that I have that George Zaharoff has bought TLTG subs. That is a very good hunch of mine. And in the 15 years that 17 years that I've been a private investigator, my hunches are usually not too wrong. Okay. If I want to expose George Zaharoff like I'm accused of exposing George Zaharoff, I could expose George Zaharoff. I don't have any intentions of exposing anyone. You guys got to understand, I don't give anybody backlash unless I get it first. If you leave me alone, I will leave you alone. Period. There's names on here I won't mention because we've gotten rid of that beef. That beef is finished. But there's other people who I've called up and apologized, like Matt Hand. Matt Hand. What is Georgia Gent? That's his name. I left him alone. I called him up and apologized because I made a video making fun of his stuttering. I didn't know he had a stutter issue. I took the video down. It also had some things about George Zaharoff in it. And I apologized to him in a phone call, Matt Hand, and said, I should have never done that, accept my apologies. He said it was squashed. Then he hits me up, running his fucking mouth, because I put a laugh emoji next to something. I didn't even mean to put a laugh emoji. You know, down there at the bottom of the screen when somebody makes a comment, push it, hold it. I got fat fingers, man, short, fat fingers. And I hit the laugh. And I looked back at it when he asked me what I was laughing about. I was actually trying not to be confrontational but he kept insisting that I tell him what the hell I was laughing about. So I let him know. I said, I think you're an ass kisser. If you want to keep bugging me, you want to keep asking questions, I think you're an ass kisser. So, right. That's what I did in the last video. So here's what Neil, aka Mr. Miami Cuddles, said about DB. Okay? This is true from his mouth. I won't put his recording out there, even though it's legal. I just don't have any intentions. My phone, when it gets a call, it records. So if you guys call me personally, my phone records. That's what PIs do. That way you don't get stuck saying something that's not true and can't prove it. Okay? That's what we do. I've done that since I was a bounty hunter. I will do that to the day that I don't own a smartphone, which may not be too much longer because, man, I'm losing my mind. So let's get back. Miami Cuddles said George Zaharoff's new fragrances are not selling because of what I did. That's what he said. True quote. How the hell does a man with 500 subs and haters out the ass in the fragrance community have that much, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't have that much sway. There's nobody going to take my word of something that all I said was George Zaharoff did this. Now, what he said afterwards could very well be true. I'll tell you that in a minute. But to blame me for George Zaharoff's fragrances not selling is like blaming Florida for not having enough oil. That's stupid. Okay? Plain and stupid. What he said was, Miami Cuddle said, because I made the videos about Steve from Redolescence, when George Zaharoff commented, that comment got out and caused friction between him and Steve. That's not me. That's George Zaharoff. He made the comment. I didn't even put it out. But you're not going to blame me for George Zaharoff's shortcomings. You're not going to do that. George Zaharoff called me. First of all, George Zaharoff did not have enough gumption to call me personally. He used Miami Cuddles, who I got along with at the time, to give me a call. Yes, George Zaharoff apologized for how he treated me from the beginning when we first met. I reviewed his fragrance. People hit up in his ear, which was TLTG, Ross Carlos, saying that you should not be associated with DB because of his past. And TLTG admitted that himself. Okay. And George Zaharoff blocked me and took down my review and did not talk to me. So he apologized for that. Okay. He would not engage in the phone conversation about the remark he made on my channel or my comment that I made about Steve from Redolescence being clones. The shit is clones, guys. Now they're sitting there and they're making blends. His new ones he come out with, they're blends. I made this channel not to expose anybody. I made this channel to tell people the truth about fragrances. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not be who I am. I wouldn't have a platform. I wouldn't be able to share stuff. I wouldn't even be able to sell my fragrance houses or my fragrance. I owe that to you, my subscribers, my loyal subscribers, to be truthful so you don't go buy shit. Navatus is shit. I would pay $50 for their bottles. They smell good, but they are other fragrances. They are clones. I would pay $50 without hesitation to buy that fragrance. I'm not paying $190. I'm not paying the $90 he requests now. I'd pay $50. That's what it's worth. Same thing with my clone house. It's the same thing. I could make every one of his fragrances. Anybody who smelled Southern Sunset will tell you I have a nose. I could recreate every one of Navatus's fragrances. Trust me. You guys want me to come out with a Viva More? I can come out with a Viva More. Well, let's get back on track. Don't blame me for something George Zaharoff did to himself. He turned around and said That wasn't me that said that. So I was like, okay, maybe George Zaharoff has been, what's the word? He said, oh, I know what it was. He said that maybe his PR person did that. That it was not him personally. But then people tried to come back and say he said it was not his channel at all. So I did some reverse stuff that I always do. See, guys, it costs money to do PI work. So that's what I did. I spent, I think it was like $12 to find out if that personal account belonged to George Zaharoff. Ding, 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 ding. You win. It's George Zaharoff's account. There is no other George Zaharoff anywhere, even remotely faking to be George Zaharoff. The email belonged to George Zaharoff. It's a communication email he's used several hundreds, thousands, millions of times. But you guys keep poking the bear. I have for so long have kept out and turned the other cheek when people bring up my past. I for so long was a good man to turn the other cheek when you called me a fraud. I for so long turned the other cheek when you told me you would get me out of this fragrance community and my YouTube channel would spiral out of control and I wouldn't even be in the fragrance community or on YouTube anymore. I turned the other cheek. But you know what? Screw your other cheek. You've poked the bear way too many times. Now the bear is going beyond poking and is fighting back. You're not blaming me for George Zaharoff's failures. If his fragrance isn't selling, which I have a hard time believing, considering I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. I watch a lot of channels. I see more of his new fragrances than I did his old one. So if it's not selling, well, maybe he's giving them away and it really ain't selling. So, we could go there with that. But if it's not selling, you still can't afford to give away that much. Correct? TLTG has a face that I would like to destroy. It's already ugly enough, so I just leave it alone. But I'm not taking this backlash about this George Zaharoff shit anymore. I put it to rest. I'm leaving it to rest. Have I made my comments? Yes, because I'm sick and tired of people putting George Zaharoff next to God. If you don't think George Zaharoff's next to God, I give you this challenge. Go into any fragrance group that has at least 500 people and say George Zaharoff is a phony and watch what happens. It's almost like the Roman horse just exploded. You know, the horse that they took into the village? It's like the horse opens up and out comes the little minions. You said something bad about George Zaharoff. Get the hell over it, dude. You guys are a bunch of pansies. A bunch of lightweights, a bunch of flyweights. And you're going to threaten me? And you can't even take criticism? All I ever say is George is not as honest and as a good a man as you make him be. I will say that until George Zaharoff himself calls me, or matter of fact, scratch that. I don't need an apology from George Zaharoff. What I need George Zaharoff to do is get on YouTube or wherever his big platform is and say, I made these comments in jest. I apologize. I don't even want to hear you say your PR lady did it. But if you would like to do that, you may. But it came from your channel. For Miami Cuddles to come out and blame me for George Zaharoff's shortcomings is absolutely stupid. If George Zaharoff right now has shortcomings, one, he did it. Two, COVID did it. My house should be on fire. There's nothing but compliments. But I understand that it's COVID, man. And we may have a new president coming in. He promised to tax the shit out of us all. I get it. But that's the problem with people, DB. They put people on a pedestal because fear of scrutiny. Correct. You're afraid that if you say this isn't all that good, George Zaharoff will not send you another bottle. But I digress. He will. He did to me. He knew I did not like his fragrance. I tried to buy it. I forgot Neiman Marcus was the place. I don't shop in Neiman Marcus's, so Neiman Marcus doesn't ever come on my lips. And I forgot. So I hit George up, man, where can I buy Zaharoff signature boron? Don't do it. I'll send it to you. No. I wanted to buy it. He insisted. Of course. I like the bottle, George. I'm just telling you, I don't like the fragrance, but I love your bottle. It would look nice in my display. That's exactly what I said. Anybody that says anything different is full of shit. I have not tried his new ones. And I'm going to be honest, because of the scrutiny I get, I don't want. Then he wanted to bring up E.J. Wells. Didn't E.J. Wells send you a bunch of bottles? No. I bought all of E.J. Wells's fragrances, except for the last two. He says, I hate E.J. Wells. I'm always hating on people. If I hated E.J. Wells, scroll down to the bottom of this thing and look where I sent E.J. Wells a Get Well video. The only issues that I've had with E.J. Wells is he sucks TLTG's ass. When all the little guys are constantly promoting him and constantly giving him love, he still suckles off of TLTG. When are you people going to realize your George Zaharoffs, your E.J. Wells, your Kevin Holtz, and crappers? I can't even say that about Travis. I'll give him that much credit. He does send to the low tier guys. But when are you guys going to realize it's not the big guys who make you who you are? Sure, they got a big audience. But you can almost guarantee, like TLTG, that 80% of his audience is bought and fake. I've proven it time and time again. Okay? I don't like Kevin Holt. But Kevin Holt still finds a way to comment on my reviews on people's reviewer things. All Kevin Holt has to do is unblock me and say, hey, can we bury the hatchet? I'm done with it. Absolutely. You don't hear me talk trash about Kevin Holt because as far as I know, he don't talk trash about me. I don't talk about crapper anymore. Guess what? Because they stopped attacking me. Why? They've been exposed. There's nothing to attack. I keep exposing them because they keep running their mouths. When you shut up, I'll shut up. When I call you and apologize, that's a handshake, a truce. I threw in the white flag. I don't want to do it anymore. But don't talk shit. You're going to get it back. George and Neil are not what they seem. I know this in spirit. Time will tell. They are not, especially Neil. George is what he seems. George is a caring and kind guy. George is a very giving guy. And he's a very nice guy. He's soft. He also does not like drama. He also does not like people to think badly of him. He doesn't want people to think anything different of him than what I just said. He's a good, great giving guy. He's not God. He's not near God. He's not near the Pope. Well, actually, anybody can be near the Pope. He's a fake too. But God mighty, can't we just quit this shit? When is enough enough? When is everybody just going to say, man, I'm done with this shit? Bury the hatchet. Call each other and say, damn, man, I'm sorry. Let's just get rid of this shit. Admit the shit, get it out, be done with it, and repair yourself like you force me to do. It's easy for people to blame somebody who's already being shit on and let them continuously get shit on. It's easy to do that. I get shit on in the fragrance community all the time. Let me keep my pride intact. Let me keep my reputation intact and let him take the hit. It's easy. It takes a fucking man to get on a video and say, I fucked up. I screwed up. I made a mistake. It takes a man to call Steve from Redolescence and say, I said that. And I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. That's where my issue starts. That's where my issue ends. George Zaharoff, if you want to bury the hatchet, ring a ding, 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 dong. It's all you got to do. This will be done. But you're going to have to put your little dog, Neil, on a leash, brother. I've told you this personally. I have hit you up personally and told you this man is no good. He's a backstabber. All he continues to do is make you look like a god And eventually, when the truth comes out, George, it's going to be 50 times worse. You should be in this crisis control. You should just want to get it out and be done with it. That happened to me when all the KKK stuff come out. I was in crisis mode. How do I get the bleeding to stop? It was George Zaharoff's idea and Neil's idea to make a video saying, why did I leave the white power movement? Wasn't going to do it at first because I didn't give a shit about anybody's opinions. I don't need their forgiveness. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I think some people need to hear about it. It may help somebody. And it did. I got probably 10 messages saying, man, what a great story. I'm so glad you put that out there. I mean, he's not perfect like most give him credit for. That's right. 100%. If one screw up that minute is worth you covering up and making somebody else get shit on for it, you're not a good person. And that's how I'll continue to believe until you personally take care of it yourself. You guys will see. I'm just going to make a real about minute-long video. I'll make it long and spread out so you guys can see the comment that I made and the comment George Zaharoff made underneath. I'm not doing this, full disclosure, I'm not doing this to fuck George Zaharoff. Do you understand me? I want you to hear this. I'm not doing this to screw George Zaharoff in any way, shape, or form. I'm doing this because I'm called a liar, and I'm not a liar. I'm human. Have I let some things slip that maybe weren't 100% true? Absolutely. But I don't lie generally. 95, 96, 97% of the time, I'm just going to tell you how it is, man. I have people hitting me up. DB, was that true about you? Yes, it was. I had several people that I was friends with hit me up. Man, is that stuff they're saying about you true? I didn't even know it. But I have to face it like a man, right? So why are you exempt, Mr. Zaharoff, from facing it like a man? It's because people put you here and you're not there. I'm going to end this, guys, because I got better things in life to worry about. But I'm telling you, you won't call me a liar and expect me to sit back and take it up the rear with no lube. It's not going to happen. No, sir. You're not ruining my reputation. I care less about my reputation, but what I got left of it, you're not going to spit and shit on. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to piss down my back and call it rain. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Because your boy Neil can't shut his fucking mouth and talk shit about me, and because people keep running their mouth about this whole situation, I have to defend myself. That's what I'm doing. This is my weapon to defend myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to defend myself. If that's not good enough, then so be it. But this is me defending myself. I'm tired of the beefs. I'm tired of being used. I'm tired of being shit on. I'm tired of it all. Let me the hell alone. Let me do my thing. Let me move on. If you can't hold, hey George Zaharoff. George, I would love to let it go, sir. But Neil himself cannot shut his mouth. I'm tired of people, George, calling me a liar for something you did, sir. Yes, we do. I love you as a person. I think you're a great person. But I'm tired of being called a liar. I'm tired of taking heat for something and I constantly have to defend myself. I'm trying to talk to you, George. I hit you up 2 weeks ago, congratulate you on your fragrance. Nothing. Then I have to hear you're blaming me for not selling so much stuff from Neil. That's exactly what Neil said. It's because of me and the shit that I supposedly started, which I didn't put the screenshot out, as to why you're not selling so much. That's all I ask. Just say, I admit it, I'm done, and move on. It's not going to be done. I've told you time and time again, George, you're a great guy. You're a giving guy. You got a great heart. But no, you didn't tell me to move on, dude. Neil, don't come on here with that stuff, man. You never said what, Mr. Zaharoff? George, you didn't say what? Well, I appreciate that. And I'm not going to do nothing to you, buddy. I don't hate you. But Neil seems to think that I hate you and that you don't want to talk to me and say anything to me because I've made life hell for you. You're going to realize, Mr. Zaharoff, Neil is not your friend. Neil is causing you more grief than he is a friendship. No, sir, you've never said anything about me. Absolutely. We'll get that out right now. Mr. Zaharoff never said anything about me. And he never will say anything about me because he's not that kind of dude. But I do too, George. I do too. You got to make a video and just tell people to leave the shit alone. You have to get up there and just say enough is enough. You've tried so many times to try to bring the community together, but the community doesn't want to be together. The community still likes all this stupid stuff. And then you get Neil on there blaming me for a shortcoming that I have a hard time seeing. I think your fragrance is selling like fire because I see it everywhere. It is an issue, sir. It is an issue. Somebody put out the screenshot that you made. Miami, look, man, just cut it off, bro. Just don't even don't even make any comments, man. I have nothing to say to you anymore. Mr. Zaharoff, I wish you the best, my friend. I think you got a great thing going. You're a giving person, a loving person, and a caring person. But you are not next to God, and you are not infallible. I called you. What the hell am I lying about? I called you because I'm getting tired of you talking stuff behind my back. What I would like from you, Mr. Zaharoff, period, is to take that whole situation with Steve from Redolescence, which everybody keeps calling me a damn liar, saying that you never said this shit, and just cut it off and move it on. Seriously, all you got to do is say, my PR lady did it. It was from my account. It's true. So we can all move on from this because I keep getting grief saying I'm a damn liar. George Zaharoff is perfect. That's what they say. That Zen cutie guy or whatever his name is said that you would give me $10,000 if I could prove that you said that. I don't need your money, brother. God bless you. I think what you're doing is phenomenal. So am I. Okay, but you spoke to them. You haven't spoke to me, brother. You haven't cleared that issue up. I'm glad you guys got that worked out. I do. But I keep getting the grief. I'm the one being crapped on. I'm the one being told I'm a liar. You know I'm not a liar. So if all we're going to do is keep going round and round in circles, then it is what it is. You can have people think that you never said that and it's all said and done with. And you are telling me that, but you're not telling everybody else that. You've told me that 100 times. You got people calling me a liar for something you posted on, and they think you're a perfect human being. So no, we had a conversation saying let's move on about our pasts, not about this particular situation. Miami, go away, bro. I really don't want anything to do with you anymore, man. I'm beyond this. I'm beyond this. I'm beyond this with you. So, Mr. Zaharoff, it's your call, sir. You can clear it up and clear me because I'm always being told I'm a liar. I have no proof, or we can just continue with the thing. That's all I'm asking. My PR lady said it. It's the truth because you, Mr. Zaharoff, came back and said you never said that. That was not from your account. That's where we're at with that. So, okay, but that, yes, sir. But down here at the bottom, Mr. Zaharoff, say just this time. Ready? I made that comment, or my PR lady made that comment. It was wrong with me. That's it. We move on. That way you have the proof. People can leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. I made my own fragrance. I have my own line of stuff. I want to be left alone. Mr. Zaharoff, you made that comment on Steve from Redolescence's page, correct? Below my comment. Or your PR lady did, correct? Just put it down there. Let's move on. I won't even put the screenshot up if you just say, I made that comment. Let's move on. I'll leave it alone. We're done. You got my word. Guaranteed. Thank you, sir. We're done. Miami Cuddles. Leave me the hell alone. Stay away from me. Mr. Zaharoff, I wish you all the best in the world, sir. I think what you're doing is great. I think you're a fabulous person. I think, he still didn't put it there. I just said it. It's all on me. I want us to move on. Miami, you're not an honest person, bro. There's nothing about you that's honest whatsoever. So keep running your mouth, bro. Just keep doing it. I'm a very honest person. There's tons of people who do not like you, bro. But Mr. Zaharoff said, he just said it. It's all on me. I want to move on, so we're good. It's all on you doesn't mean you made that comment, sir. But I understand. It's all good. It is what it is. Miami, you're constantly talking bad about me, bro. Constantly talking bad about me. You can't shut your mouth about me. Without me, it's like you have no existence. Just move on. Go away. Now I'm telling you to move on. See that? I told you to move on, Dwayne. Now I'm telling you to move on. Move on. Skedaddle. Adios. There's no need for Dwayne to come out of Neil's mouth. There still does. Because Neil don't come out of Dwayne's mouth. Period. I thank you, Mr. Zaharoff, for coming by. I thank you, Mr. Zaharoff, for saying you'd like to move on. But clearly, you're not going to admit it. But he says it's all on him. That anything can be all on him. So, hey, guys, peace out. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Catch the video coming up.